Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac, this is Walpurgis, not in Limbus Company. Yes, I have been sitting here waiting for it to start. Okay, we have 300 compensation lunacy, and some announcements saying, hey, new stuff! They're bringing back the old one, but I don't think I need anything from there. However, we also have the new one. We'd like to inform you about additional improvements made to the game. Okay, so let's check out the extractions. These are fancy new things, but how about I just throw all my tickets and lunacy at this and see what we get? I don't think I have enough to reach an extraction point though. Darn it, why did I go for that damn rotten... I just got the difficult part to pull in the first pull, but as I was saying, I shouldn't have gone for lay hang and forced. Why did I do that? New 300 Starlight. Keep pulling, don't stop for anything. We got a gold, but that's not... it's not green. But we do have some Deca extraction tickets to burn through as well.
안녕, 나는 티페리트야. 반가워, 나도 티페리트야. 게으름 피우지 말고 착실하게 제압에 임해. 물론 잘하겠지만.
I think I might have the game volume too low, actually.
사랑과 평화를 소원한 자들의 이야기가 여기에 적혀있지. 바로 우리 마법 소녀들 같지 않을까? 해결사란 건 이런 거구나.
You know, I don't think it's probably sunk into me that they've now given voice acting to the Queen of Hatred. Until that point. More tickets! More thread for the Project Moon God. I might end up continuously pulling anyway because I want the Queen of Hatred announcer. Darn it.
사랑과 정의의 이름으로 지금 이곳에 등장! 아르카나들을 처리하는 거라면 나도 도울게. 정의로운 힘은 합칠수록 강해지는 거니까 잘 부탁해.
This is silly. Here's the question, am I going to get everything from Walpurgis before even getting to the Lunacy? No, I'm not. Don't be silly. I kind of want to go look at the event to see if there's any extra cards I could get from there, but on the flip side... Oh wow, I never realized how much lunacy I've actually stockpiled here.
그러니까 이번 의뢰는 말이죠.
미카, 이미 녹음 시작한 것 같은데?
응? 아니 저 양반 아직 술 마시고 있는데. 이런 건 기세로 한 거야. 가보자.
Yes, I never did get them all off us. This is actually getting crazy, but I usually don't stockpile this much gacha currency. I usually don't pull this hard on stuff. It's going to be slightly silly if after all this I end up going over into Ideality for Knight of Rhodion, which is more common. W Core Ryoshu. You're horrible.
내게 남은 건 너를 처음으로 담당했다는 볼품없는 긍지밖에 없는데 결국 선택받는 건 그쪽이야?
Alright, so you know what we have to do, right? You know what we have to do? We're going to our favorite testing grounds. I know. Oh no. The rotten tutorial! I don't want to do this, guys! I want to test out my own... I want to test my new identities! Chaining multiple skills with affinity will activate resonance. It's not as good as they say it is. Chaining 3 or more gains absolute resonance. Activating resonance slightly enhances affected skills. Guarantees that every skill gains the boost. And they're not, even though that we actually have Uptie 3, but it doesn't seem to be giving us level 3 skills. Each unit has a unique passive. Select Forced. Skill, passive. This is Resonance. It can be met by activating Resonance that was explained earlier. Activate the Resonance passive for Forced. We don't need to know how to play the game, guys. Since the Mersault's passive is owned. Owned activate automatically each turn if you have the resources to meet them. This requires you to own Sloth resources. At less than 50% HP gain protection. Using a skill to gain a resource corresponding. Currently active okay, whatever. If they've been sufficiently upgraded, they have support passives. All I wanted to do was test out the new identities. And you had to stop and tell me how to play the game that I've already sunk 3,200 hours into. Okay, let's pick somewhere a little bit higher level. Okay, so not the Gloom team.
전가요?
Not story team. I want the testing team. So, we have ARCANA Slave. It takes Wrath, Gloom, Pride, and Envy. Good to know. And then we have Lobcore Don Quixote. And then we have Lobcore Rodian. And you know what? I almost never use announcers, so we might as well have this announcer. I wish you could set announcers by the team that you had selected rather than it just being globally applied. I know. She has little hearts popping up in the air. Gain 3 love-hate count. Gain 3 love-hate count. Inflict rupture. At 15 deep tears, consume 5 deep tears to deal damage. Gain 2 love-hate count and gain a little bit more love-hate. With love, hiya! Oh, actually, what are they resistant to? Pierce. Okay, pierce with blunt weakness, pierce with slash weakness. Good to know. By Manager Esquire's order! Gain love-hate count twice per turn. We don't have passives unlocked. Protecting Sword to a max stack of 5. Turn start, gain aggro to the leftmost skill on the dashboard. Love-hate. Here comes Magical Girl! For this turn, this unit uses plus attack skills. Hysteria. Actually, what passives do they have without even uptying them? Gain love-hate every time this unit consumes 10 love-hate, count this encounter. Gain Hysteria and love-hate at the start of the turn encounter. Gain Here Comes Magical Girl, lose Regressive Transformation reversed. Or gain it when at less SP. This unit's SP cannot drop below 40 due to SP loss effects. But she has to reach 4 resonance in order to gain her whatsits. Ooh, okay, so 2 plus 3. So it rolls a 6, 8 at max. Unfortunate. Or she's a 10 minus 4. Which leaves her at exactly the same stats, go figure. Deal more damage for every Hysteria on self, gain 2 love-hate, lose 5 SP. Alright. Skill 2, with love higher, rolls a 12. Gain 3 love-hate, up to 6 if it is able to actually land its hits. Get out of my head! If this unit has Hysteria, gain Clash Power. Gain 3 love-hate, gain 6 love-hate, lose 8 SP. So it actually... No, actually it does lose more SP than the previous attack, and inflicts sinking. The Knights... Oh, actually, let's look at her passives. Turn start at 0 or higher SP, gain Blessing. At less than 0, gain Despair. Use plus coins or minus coins. When gaining charge, gain Deep Tears instead. Deep Tears is unaffected by charge potency. Ooh. Okay, that's important to know. This unit's SP does not drop below negative 40 from the following effects. SP loss on base skills. SP loss from allied support passives. SP loss from tier sharpened. At 3 stacks, gain additional 5 deep tears. Lose stack times 15 SP. Wow, so 15 is actually a lot. She's going to absolutely drop like a rock. If this unit has Blessing, gain Clash Power. If this unit has Despair, gain Pierce Power. In an encounter, if they take damage that brings SP to negative 45, I need to check the base factor's insanity though. Maintain at negative 44 does not apply to SP changes or SP consuming abilities like ego skills. If this unit has Piercing skill, consume Piercing Sword to inflict sinking. If this unit has 2 plus Piercing Sword, consume everything to inflict it as sinking. If this unit has 3 tier sharpened before hitting an enemy with final coin, inflict 3 sinking and sinking count and deal 50% more damage with a coin. If the effect activates, reset SP to 0. If they had less than 0 SP, then heal 30 SP. That's very nice. Skill 1. Inflict sinking, gain deep tears. Inflict sinking, gain deep tears. 3 plus 4, so that rolls in 11. And 8 minus 4, that can roll a 0. 3 plus 4, so that rolls 15. At 15 deep tears, consume them to deal extra damage. Singing count, 3 deep tears. And it rolls roughly the same with Tear Sharpened Sword. Well, actually no, it has a lower cap. 12 minus 4. Lose 10 SP on use, consume 5 deep tears to deal extra damage, and gain 3 deep tears. I don't know where she picks up Tear Sharpen from. Oh, wait, no, she gets it from her Clashable Guard. Gain shield equal to SP divided by 5% of this unit's max HP. Gain 3 deep tears. Actually, we could use a Clashable Guard here, I think. Increase after winning a clash. Increase by 10 when defeating a higher level enemy. Increase by 5 when an ally wins. Decrease after losing a clash. Or losing an ally. And is it the same for this? At 0 or higher SP, increase after winning a clash. Increase by 10 after this unit defeats an enemy whose level is higher or equal to this unit. Increase by 5 after an ally defeats. Decrease after losing a clash based on clash count. Okay. She even has a unique panic type for this, love and hate. Okay, back to beating things up. Ow. So yeah, she's actually picked up some piercing swords. Turn end. Lose 15 SP, gain Tear Sharpened. If they already had it, then lose more. So using her Clashable Guards will actually drain her SP quite quickly. You know the thing that annoys me the most? If I accidentally click the side of the bar, it resizes the window and that immediately ends the recording. Sorry about that. Base power for every love, for every hysteria. 2 plus 10 though, it's going to be very hard for her to do anything cool. And Rodian lost a lot of SP. I guess Clashable Guard is kind of dangerous for her. Okay, so let's jump into their actual characters here for some Upties. So she rolls 3 to 6 in speed, has +2 in defense level. Alright. Now, if we uptie her, she goes from 3 to 6 to 3 to 7. She now consumes her love-hate count on herself to gain coin power, and gains even more love-hate on use. But it triggers afterwards, so yeah. She has to have this before she gains her energy, otherwise nothing happens. Inflict a tiny bit extra rupture. With love, hiya! Deal extra damage for every love-hate on self. consume 6 love-hate count on self to gain coin power. Gain 3 love-hate count, and then on hit, gain 4 love-hate count. So she actually gets enough from using this skill once to gain the coin power on the next turn. But she also gets her heads hit. Inflict Mark of Villainy against the main target. And now her skill 1 upgrades also gains the bonus to her. It gains the consumption, it gains extra love hate, it inflicts extra sinking. If this unit has Hysteria, base power +1. So it changes from clash power to base power, that's handy. Lose 8 SP, that's the same. Tails hit, inflict Mark of Villainy next turn. Gain her passive. 4 times resonance, deal 2% more damage for every love-hate, to a maximum of 10. But 4 envy resonance is quite a bit, isn't it? By Manager Esquire's orders, I am here! Now, if we jump over to Rodian. She has a 3 to 5 speed range with 8 defense. Not as nice. This gives her 3 to 6, which I guess is okay, but I'm hoping that something will happen to give her a bit more speed so she has better aggro management or something. Knight's Sanctuary. If target is sinking, coin power +1. Inflict sinking. Gain 2 deep tears. We already knew about that. Gain coin power for a target with sinking. Inflict 2 sinking count. Gain 1 additional deep tier for every 2 protecting sword. Final power +1 for every sinking on the target. Yeah, final power is important where coin power isn't. You don't want coin power on negative coins, is what it's saying. Final power +1 for every 3 sinking on the target. Lose 10 SP, gain 15 tears. The fact that she's blunt weak but pierce resistant means that she does overlap somewhat with Dicey Rodian, but they're going to be tanking for very different things, is what I am saying here. For every piercing sword this unit had at combat start, gain 1 additional deep tier. Magical Girl of Justice, Knight of Despair. When in Blessing state, take less HP damage from attacks, based on her SP. When in Despair state, deal more damage based on her SP, but only with base skills. Now then, Ego, we didn't actually get to see this. And unfortunately it has quite the complicated set of stats on it, so it's going to be tricky to do that. Apply 1 Magical Girl's Chant to 1 plus Envy Resonance and random allies. 16 plus 5 is actually kind of good. 26 isn't the highest rolling VoV, but I don't know. At least it's a multi-coin that doesn't have a very low initial hit. Like, let's jump to Rodian for an example. 8 plus 8 is actually kind of pathetic because if you just so happen to roll the tails, then it's useless. Before attack, gain charge -1 attack weight. It already has an attack weight of 5. So that means she can roll an 8 if she has enough charge. After attack, consume all charge count on self to heal allies with the least HP percentage by charge count consumed % HP. But it goes up to 5%. 2 plus Envy Resonance divided by 2. So it's at least 2 allies. but at most it's 5 allies if you get the max envy resonance. After attack, gain magical arcana. Base attacks guilds deal more damage. At turn end, at 3 stacks with 25 or higher SP, change SP to -25. Yikes. On hit, gain charge count 5 per turn, but... so if she hits the maximum number of targets, then she will get enough charge to heal everyone. Unbreakable coin. Heads hit. Inflict mark of villainy against the main target next turn. And then inflict charge -1 rupture to a maximum of 2. So it does nothing if she hasn't fired it off at least once already. And the passive isn't active yet, so what's her corrosion? Maximize reversed arcana slave erasure of hatred. Target randomly, gain charge attack weight. Consume all charge count, deal extra damage for every charge count consumed. If the main target has mark of villainy, deal extra damage. That's gonna be tricky to do because it targets randomly. It's going to be very hard to guarantee she hits who you want her to hit. Before attack, deal 5% more damage for every envy resonance. Base power -12 for every cracked coin to a maximum of 24, so 31. And they actually roll 12 on their coins anyway. So yeah, it's basically saying it's the equivalent of a tails flip twice. After attack, if this unit is a lobotomy ego, gain hysteria, as opposed to gaining magical arcana. Gain charge count 7 times per turn. Okay. Consume all charge count to deal extra damage, but this happens after the attack, doesn't it? Yeah, she consumes the charge count beforehand and fires the attack off on the second part. So she basically gets her charge count back. Tails hit. Inflict mark of villainy against the main target. Inflict charge -1 sinking. Okay, gain charge. This is basically just giving her the passive of all charge identities. This unit's base skills that consume charge count. Deal extra damage for every charge on self. And gain an additional skill use for being the Lobcore ego. Now then. We aren't going to get into the event today, but I do intend on leaving her VOV unuptied just so we can see it with the color overlay without the background change. But Uptie 3. Speed increases to 4 to 7. Arcana beats! She gains her skill 3. Minor Arcana Slave. Deal 15% more damage for every magical arcana. At 3 potency. Deal potency times 15 damage to a maximum of 75%. At 3 love-hate, gain base power. Consume love-hate count to gain coin power. Coin power +1 for every count consumed to a maximum of 2. Gain love-hate count. So she's going to stabilize at 6 after she drains her at charge. And then gain a magical arcana. At 3 stack, at high SP, change to negative SP. Unbreakable coin, unbreakable coin, unbreakable coin. On hit without cracking, inflict some rupture. 20 -7. So this is basically the Sun Shower's potency here. Reverse beats, reversed Arcana Slave. Her negative coins don't do well with heads flips, but at least she doesn't drop to below negative 40. So yeah, this deals less damage against sub-targets. Consume all Hysteria to gain Clash Power. Consume Love-Hate to gain Clash Power. For every 8 consumed, wow, that's actually a lot of charge being consumed. Deal extra damage for every Love-Hate on self. Consume all Magical Arcana to gain attack weight. If this skill only has a single target but has 2 attack weight, deal extra damage. Base power -6 for every cracked coin. So she's basically going to be hitting with 2 power if she cracks both coins. If this unit isn't at negative 45 and is at less than 0, heal 10 SP. Heal more SP the further we are from 0. 2 SP for every missing SP, maximum of 50. It's not exactly going to put her in the best situation, but also she loses 10 SP on use. Unbreakable, unbreakable, inflicts sinking on hit. Okay, raise her base skill. This gives her 3+3+3. It's still pretty bad, but she does gain 1 coin power, which is 11. Gain love, hate, gain Luna. Raise the base power. 5 plus 4, that's 8, 13, but it becomes 15 if she has love-hate to consume. Where are the villains? Deal 4% damage for every Hysteria on self. Gain base power. So 12 but can roll down to a 4. Honestly, kind of hoping that it relies on coin power alone, because we're overdue for some new rat skills that are 10 or below. Get out of my head. Gain base power. Okay, 13 minus 6. So that rolls a 1 at worst. You can gain 2. Gain base power, 3, but now let's consider what these are rolling with if you actually roll the Tails coins, it's going to be a 15. Gain love, hate, etc, etc. Magical Girl of Love, Queen of Hatred. Deal more damage for every love, hate, and gain 1 Magical Arcana. So whenever you trigger a 4 times Envy Resonance, she is going to be building towards swapping to negative coin mode. If amongst allies that gain charge count with base attack skills, one ally with least charge count uses a base skill that gains charge, they gain +2, twice per turn. At 0 or higher SP, heal charge on the target HP. At less than 0 SP, heal charge SP. Heals up to 10 per turn. Okay, so that's cool. Now let's see her Uptie story.
진정들 하시게. 이미 등장했으니 환상체 탈출 제압, 격리실 관리, 정신이 나가버린 직원 제압, 무엇이든지 좋네. 본인이 틀림없이 도움이 될 테니 꼭 부르게.
It doesn't even give us enough time to listen to her whole spiel, does it? "'Tis day 26! What a merry, fantastic day it was once again! For today was the day upon which I was availed a chance to, with our dearest fellow magical maiden, explore the tales of fixers of the northern regions, whose conveyance of justice was most valiant. Oh, how tedious it must all have been for the maiden to be incarcerated in such a barren, claustrophobic chamber, bereft of even a morsel of stimulation. She who deserveth to breathe the free air, fighting evil by moonlight. Nay, must one always remain wary of the truth? that she is but an abnormality. Not to mention that I, as a captain, must set a proper example for the other employees. She nearly got in trouble there. She nearly got the lawyers on us. I must best categorize this under the label of attachment work. But of course, all of mine efforts, preparing various props that align with the abnormality's preferences, conversing for long hours with her, were all but honest toil to prevent abnormality 014's glide path counter from decreasing. It must be emphasized that any suggestions or allegations that I did all of this for the sake of mine entertainment, or that I voluntarily stayed past work hours just to obtain her ego gift, are most preposterous accusations, which I do protest with vehemence. Let this record be witness of mine earnestness. Allegations that I did all of this for my own entertainment or stayed past work hours to obtain her gift are preposterous accusations. Just so in case we forgot because the dialogue was broken up there. This is quite bizarre that my handwriting hath become so squiggly and anxious. Before I am to proceed, some deep breaths. Thus I shall heretofore transcribe the lore of this ARCANA she explained to me. From what I hear, she is one of the veritable magical girls who are destined to battle villains. A great will, in need of observers of justice to stand tall before the overwhelmingly powerful might of villains, be it minor or major ARCANA, hath chosen them and transformed them into magical girls. As ARCANA itself is but a neutral force of magic, it can be possessed and molded by good and evil. Only those who are free from corrupting allures of its power, only those with a steadfast vision for justice, may be hailed magical girls. She claimeth to have other senpai, meaning that she is the least experienced or perhaps the youngest out of them all, and hath explained that one moment she simply found herself arising in this facility. As I was the one to enter her chamber in the moment of her awakening, she mistook me to be an agent of the ARCANA. She was quite hostile to me then. 'Twas quite troublesome to resolve that misunderstanding. Magical girls, the ARCANA, much did she befuddle me with words I found so peculiar and unfamiliar, until I espied a common theme. All these stories she shared were none too dissimilar from the tales of fixers of the city. Though following my employment here at Lobotomy Corporation, I was behooved to relinquish this old dream of mine of becoming a fixer. If only I could dream again, by donning the identity of a magical maiden of justice! What joy that would indeed be! I inquired with haste, "Prithee, how doth one become subject to this choosing?" A great tragedy it was, for she explained that she knew not why she had been chosen, or how one goes about becoming a chosen one. It's the Jester of Nile, isn't it? Yet I came to a revelation upon observing the ego gear extracted from her. Were I to be equipped with the staff and outfit, the very essences of love and justice, I may be a magical maiden of justice just as well. She could not find it within herself to believe it at first. Outfitted is hardly what makes the magical girl, she vociferated. Ooh, they're actually using the animated version of this for this scene. Cool. Yet, she soon came to see eye to eye my most honest-hearted thirst towards justice, this burning righteous wrath against evil. Honest-hearted. I actually think it's enviously hearted. But the wrath is in her skill won. Moreover, when she witnessed my battle against breached abnormalities, when she came out to assist our suppression efforts, verily, 'twas the moment of revelation for her as well, that I am, forsooth, a veritable and excellent magical maiden just as herself. We are now together protectors of justice at this company. Though the Sephiroth always diminish us, admonishing us as more trouble than help. Though our other colleagues who have experienced loss at the hand of abnormalities may impart resentful sentiments against us, I know this to be the truth. That true magical girls are stubborn strugglers, survivors weathering whatever terrible adversity that cometh their way. she still has her, or maybe she just flat out has the fragment of the universe ego gift. To be fair, whoever I'd send to work with the Queen of Hatred this often would actually get as many attachment rate gifts as I could manage on them. 'Tis no wild, naive ramblings of a dream-consumed one. In fact, ever since my transfer to this central command team to manage this magical maiden, I have persevered and conducted repeated attachment work on her. And that hath lifted to me to the position of a captain. And, as Manager Esquire hath found this development, the lowered containment breach rate for the magical is 104, most satisfying. Both Tiferet, sir and lady, have both spoken thusly indeed. Heh. Huh? Perplexing. Is that supposed to imply she used to breach containment? Yet, in my recollections, I was her one and only manager ever since she was first contained in the Central Command. Yet, I have no memory of her breaching containment. Well, nothing to concern myself with. Truthfully, I am quite bubbling with excitement for what tomorrow holds. And it shan't be peace that awaits me. Nay, it shan't be, for that is a detriment to the worth of mine existence. Is it? How strange, 'tis almost as if her sentiments are rubbing off on me. Verily, the existence of peace hath no business with my usefulness. This must be fatigue speaking. I must also visit this welfare team, for it hath opened anew today. In today's management session, she claimed that there was a strange stir in the air. Perchance, one of her elusive senpai hath arrived here as an abnormality. I must go meet the employee responsible for her management post-haste. Well, with jolly anticipation for what tomorrow holds. Thus doth my daily journaling come to an end. We're gonna lose this fun splash screen when we go up Tyrodian. Although this episode is going to lag a very long time because I've lost track of how much time it's probably about half an hour. Probably. We'll start next episode with this. So until next time, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.